What's going on, guys? Tyler here and welcome to a new video. Now today I'm going to be talking about the contract situation that's going on in regards to Charlton. As I'm sure most of you are aware of, there are several key members of staff and players that are out of contracts come end of the season, and today I'm going to be going through each person and deciding whether or not they should be given a new contract with the club, or it's time that we part ways and go our separate ways. So without any further hesitation, guys, let's get right into the video. So of the 14 people that are out of contract, 4 of them are key members of staff, and they are manager Lee Bowyer, assistant manager Johnny Jackson, goalkeeper coach Andy Marshall, and head of recruitment Steve Gallen. All of them are out of contract come end of the season, but this one is a very simple one to call. All 4 of them deserve new contracts. Each and every one of them. Lee Bowyer, 50 games in charge of the Addicts, has a plus 50% win ratio. That is incredible. He's done an unbelievable job considering the circumstances of the club, and he deserves a contract. Same with Johnny Jackson. He deserves it as well, working alongside Bowyer. Both of them, Bose and Jacko, have been brilliant all year. Andy Marshall, he deserves it. He seems to have made Dylan Phillips brilliant since coming to the club in the summer. He's certainly turned Dylan Phillips around and has helped him out big time, and has now become Charlton's #1. And Steve Gallen has been brilliant as well in helping out Bowyer with the transfer. So all 4 of them, in my opinion, deserve contracts, and they need to be sorted out big time. Lee Bowyer actually was offered a contract in the week, but said he found it quite difficult to understand, which is typical really, because Roland can't even offer Roland and Bowyer a simple contract. Bowyer sat down with Richard Murray and said that he is requesting a normal contract. So yeah, that's still ongoing, but it shows there's light at the end of the tunnel. It seems that Bowyer wants to stay, Jacko wants to stay. It seems that all 4 of them want to stay. So yeah, this needs to be gotten over the line. Now we're going to move on to the players. There are 10 players that are out of contract at the end of the season. I'm going to go through each one and decide whether or not I think that they deserve a contract or not. The first player on this is Jake Forster-Caskey. This one is a real shame because, of course, Jake Forster-Caskey suffered an ACL injury in pre-season, taking him out for the entire season. However, his rehabilitation has been better than expected, and he is now in full contact training, so he's not that far away from making an appearance to the side. He needs to play an under-23 game soon, which I'm assuming will be either next week. I don't think this week, maybe next week, and I reckon he'll be ready round about the Scunthorpe-Gillingham game, round about that time. So we will see Forster-Caskey during the playoff times, which of course Charlton can confirm actually on Saturday if results go their way against Luton. Me personally, Jake needs a contract, purely because he's not had enough football this season, and it wouldn't really make sense if Charlton don't get promoted and then he leaves to a championship side, because he then needs to adapt to not only football again, but has to adapt to a new level. If Charlton aren't promoted to League One, aren't promoted to the Championship, and we remain in League One, I think Jake needs to get a new contract so he can get back to the swing of things and help us out get promotion next year. He'll be an integral part to our side when he comes back. If we get promoted to the Championship, I still feel he deserves one, but it might be a little bit difficult for him to get back to the style of Championship football. But for me, I think Forster-Caskey deserves a contract, and I'm looking forward to seeing him put that number 8 shirt for Charlton. On our list is Johnny Williams. Now, of course, Williams signed for the Addicts in January 2019. In the January transfer window, he was our first signing on a permanent deal. However, he signed for only 6 months, which I have to say was typical Roland, really, again, because they can't offer him more than a 6-month contract. Now, people are going to disagree with me on this one, but honestly, I haven't really seen much from Williams yet. Performance-wise, he's been brilliant. End product-wise, I've seen nothing. Like, especially at this stage, he's been with us for a solid 3 months now. No goals, no assists. He would have got one on Saturday if Vetokele had been credited with the goal against Plymouth, but unfortunately it didn't. It was cast as an own goal. I haven't seen anything from Williams yet, and people will disagree with me, but I haven't. And personally, for me, if we get promoted to the Championship, I think Williams deserves a contract anyway, but I feel like if we get promoted to the Championship, Williams will have to fight for his position in the team in the Championship, because I feel like that he needs to improve his end product big time. If we stay in League One, there is the possibility that he won't want to stay in League One, but I was surprised he went down to League One anyway. In Williams' case, he might want to stay in League One to build his confidence up in football again, and then if Charlton aren't in the position that he wants them to be in next year in League One, then he can leave in January, or he might leave in January. But yeah, Williams is quite a strange one to call. Next up is Josh Parker. 2 words sum up this guy: panic buy. It's as simple as that. Me personally, we should release him. I think we should let him go. I think we should let his contract be terminated or keep him and then sell him for a fee. Personally, I don't think that Parker is not only not good enough for Charlton, but not good enough for this division. That might seem a bit harsh, but honestly, from what I've seen from him, he's not a League One player. I saw him against Southend for the first time earlier in the year. He was brilliant. He proved all his haters wrong. He started against Blackpool. He was pathetic. Since that day, I've seen absolutely nothing from him. Vetokele deserves his spot ahead of him in the team because Parker is not good enough for Charlton. I feel like Bowyer was panic buyed him, basically. He purchased him as a panic buy because we couldn't get the strikers that we wanted, so we literally just signed any League One striker we could. For some reason, chose Parker, and he ain't good enough. Me, personally, if we get promoted to the Championship, we definitely need to get rid of him because he's not a Championship player. League One, maybe. He can integrate himself a little bit more in the side, but me, personally, from what I've seen so far, he's not good enough. Next up on our list is Tarek Faso. This one, oh my god. This one, I can't believe how much this man has changed in a year. Last year, he was without a doubt one of our best players, if not our best player. 9 goals last season, absolutely flawless, one of the best talents in the league. This year, he's one of our worst players. I don't get it. He's been absolutely diabolical this year. Only 2 goals to his name. The second one against Gillingham, though, being an absolutely fantastic goal. But honestly, League One teams have sussed him out. They've sussed out his style of play. His passing is diabolical. Well, he doesn't pass anyway. His shots not particularly great. He's just been average, if average, like poor. I feel like though, if we get promoted to the Championship this season, I feel like this might sound a bit weird, but I feel like a loan move may help out Fosu a little bit, maybe to another League One side. I don't think he's ready for the Championship football based on the season that he's had. But yeah, me personally, he hasn't been the same that he was last year, and would I offer him a contract? Yes, but for the sake of getting rid of him, because I feel like if we get rid of him next season, I won't be too upset by it because he hasn't played well this season at all. I'd like to see him step up come the end of the season, like the last couple of games this year, but he's not been good enough. Next on our list is Mark Marshall. Now, don't get me wrong, I really like Marshall, and again, I feel like he is another player who's underrated because people don't realise the work ethic he puts in, because his work ethic is brilliant. And he's got the speed, he's got the drive, he shows passion when he plays. But let's face it, in my opinion, there is definitely someone out there that is better than Marshall. He's 32 in May, I think it is. Yeah, he's 32 in May, so he's really getting on a bit. He signed from Bradford after being their Player of the Year. And yeah, I think there's definitely someone out there that can replace Marshall. Me personally, I think that it's time that we part ways with Marshall. I think that there is someone better with him out there. He's struggling to get first team football right now. Bowyer even said at the start of the season that he was interested in offers for Marshall, so he was willing to let him go. So that shows that Marshall wasn't really a part of Bowyer's future at the start of the season anyway, but he's kept him nonetheless. But I feel like this year it's time that we part ways with Marshall. Next up, and probably one of the most serious of the lot, is the BFG, Patrick Bauer. This one is a very obvious one for me to call. He caused a lot of speculation. There was a lot of speculation going around in September when Bauer publicly tweeted that he will not be re-signing another contract with the club. He hadn't received one anyway, but he wasn't going to be re-signing, which made me think straight away, come the end of the season, the BFG will be leaving Charlton Athletic. And this year I can see it happening more than ever. And the simple answer to that is we have to get promoted to the Championship. If we don't get promoted to the Championship, Bauer is gone. It's as simple as that. Blackburn Rovers have been waiting in the windows for over a year now, trying to nick him. They were scared away by De Châtelet, who put a £2 million price tag on him in the summer, which is the best thing he's done while owning Charlton. But yeah, this year, if we don't get promoted to the Championship, Bauer's gone. It's as simple as that. If we do get promoted, I consider it quite strange if Bauer doesn't re-sign. But yeah, that's an obvious one for me. If we don't get promoted, Bauer's gone. Get promoted to the Championship this season is Joe Aribo. He is out of contract in the summer. He has been heavily linked with moves away for about a year now. Southampton were interested in him reportedly. Benfica in Portugal were interested in him. And most recently, Arsenal were interested in Aribo, but that was complete speculation. Actually, no, I say speculation. Unai Emery actually announced that he was interested in signing Aribo, but Bowyer immediately said that I don't think he's of Premier League standard. And I agree, I don't think Aribo is of Premier League standard. If he went to Arsenal now, I think it would ruin his career. Because let's face it, Joe is not going to get in the starting 11 for... He's not going to get in the starting 11 for Arsenal. He's probably going to go there, either play for their under-23 squad or go out on loan to a similar team to us. Joe has reportedly said that he wants to sign for the club. He says he wants to stay, but the factor that is going to hinder his contract talks is his agent. His agent is the same agent as Ademola Lookman, and we know exactly what happened to him. He went off to Everton back in 2017. And I feel like that agent could sway him, make him become big-headed and send him off to the Premier League, because his agent will think, well, we can get more money here. It's all about money at the end of the day, I could think, according to his agent. But Joe wants to stay, and I feel like if he does stay, that would be brilliant, but I can see it going very easily. If we don't get promoted to the Championship, his agent's going to sway him, and Joe's going to go. Next player is Chris Solly. Now, this one, I'm just going to whiz through this one. He's going to stay. Simple as that. He says that he wants to finish his career with Charlton. He's been at Charlton for his entire career. Why would he want to go now? My opinion, Solly, he's going to sign. Reeves. Now, when Reeves first signed for the club from MK Dons back in 2017, I have to say, I didn't really like him at first. I felt that his passing wasn't any good. His end product was pretty poor. Yeah, but then, after further inspection, I then realised the good things that he did in matches and realised how quality of a player Reeves is. He's been brilliant over the past 2 years. 3 goals last year, 4 goals this year. He's been brilliant this year, and I feel like he deserves his spot in the starting 11. However, I feel that there's something going on behind the scenes between Reeves and Bowyer, because Reeves hasn't been getting game time when I feel like that he deserves it. He's been subbed off in quite a lot of games in like the at the start of the second half, which is surprising because I feel like Reeves he's done really well this year for the most part. But yeah, I feel like there's some relationship problems going on there between Reeves and the gaffer. If we get promoted to the Championship, I think Reeves would have to fight for his spot in the team, because I don't think he's particularly ready for the step up to Championship. He could be, but I don't really know. League One, I think that he'll stay. Personally, I think Reeves will stay. It wouldn't really make sense to me if he was to leave for whatever reason to another League One team. List is Igor Vetokele. Now, Vetokele has been with us officially for 5 years. He's been contracted with Charlton for 5 years, but he's played with us properly for 3 seasons. He signed in 2014 in the Championship, and when we signed him, it looked like that we had a fantastic player on our cards. Then he got struck with a serious injury. I think it was a groin injury, I think it was, something like that. 2015-16, our relegation season, he also struggled with injury back then. Yeah, did okay. The past 2 years after that, he was sent out on loan to Belgium, to Zulte Waregem, I've definitely butchered that, and St. Truiden, who were previously owned by Roland de Châtelet. This year, in 2018-19, Igor said that he wants to stay with Charlton. He stayed with us, gets a dislocated shoulder, pretty standard really for him. And then he comes back to the side in February after Carlon Grant was sold to Huddersfield. Vetokele became Taylor's strike partner. He has 1 goal to his name. He scored against Wimbledon, of course, the last-minute winner. But for me personally, he's not been good enough. I feel like that there is another striker out there that we could sign, like Joe Mason or Moa Issa, who we missed out on in the January transfer window. But personally, I think Igor hasn't been good enough this season. And if we get promoted to the Championship, if he stays, he's got to fight for his spot, because there is someone better out there. Me personally, like Mark Marshall, I think it's time we let Igor go. I don't think he's good enough. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, can you possibly leave a like and subscribe while you're over here? Turn on those post notifications so you're notified of when I post. What do you think about this contract situation, guys? Let me know in the comments below. Who do you think is going to stay and who do you think Charlton should let go? I do have to make an apology, though. I can't go to tonight's away game to Wycombe Wanderers. I did say that it was a possibility, but unfortunately stuff has come up over the Easter holidays, and unfortunately I will be quite limited to away games. I won't be going to Wycombe. I won't be going to Gillingham away either due to family commitments. The last away game that I could potentially go to is Oxford United. Not promising anything yet. I'm saying that I'm thinking about it. It's a possibility. That's all I'm saying. Thank you very much for watching this video, guys. Again, this has been Tyler Anderson. Have a nice day, and I'll see you all for the next matchday vlog. The biggest vlog of the season by a country mile against the league leaders Luton Town.